Welcome to the 2013 Coach Phil Lazenby Show. I'm Randy Bergen. Coach, first off, congratulations, 2013 right here on us again. You've been working real hard.
Yeah, the kids have worked hard in the weight room and tried to get in shape, and now the grind is just about over. 4 weeks of preseason work, and I think they're ready to play.
Coach, before we get into 2013 season, let's take a look at the 2012 season. You finished with a 7-5 record, go to the second round of the playoffs. Whenever you look at the whole season, the 5 games that were lost, a total of 16 points. Let's talk a little about your senior leadership. You had Joe Stassen, now South Carolina Gamecock, Jonathan Walton, Michael Daves. The list could go on of the leaders you had last year. Let's take a reflection back to last year.
Well, it was a good year, and then also it was disappointing in a way because we lost so many close games. But that's the difference between a championship team and a team that is not really quite there yet. We lost games on last plays, or a chance to at least tie or win the game on the last play 3 different times, and so we've got to be able to make those plays. Yeah, I'm going to miss those kids, those ones that we lost our all-time leading rusher in Joe Stassen, and then South Carolina Gamecock, John Walton. And it's just hard to replace those type kids, Mike Daves, all those. But, we've got some good kids, so we feel like we're going to be competitive this year.
Let's go ahead and set up for this year and talk about some of the leaders that you'll have. Of course, the senior quarterback, Hunter Slater, will come back in, who, watching him in practice, looks like he's just gotten his arm so much stronger. Looks like he is one of the big leaders out there on the field.
Well, he is strong. He's a good-sized kid, too, 6'1", about 195. He runs well, which is going to, I think, add a little dimension to our offense this year. Great arm. Started for 3 years and even some his freshman year, so we're very, very pleased to have Hunter. And along with Hunter, we've got a lot of seniors, and we expect every one of them to contribute. So we have 14 total, which is the most we've ever had since I've been here.
That's what I was going to say, and it looks like this year you're dressing out more than you ever have. So over 50 players you'll be dressing out. And you talk about some of the seniors. You've got a new kid on campus, Landon Lassiter, who'll come in and start at fullback. Yeah,
Landon is Coach Lassiter, is our works on defense and offense for us. It's his son, and Landon's a good kid, real quick, sure-handed kid. Is going to be at fullback and play a little corner for us also.
Coach, let's take a look at both offense and defense real quick. Offensively, of course, we mentioned that you lose last year's senior Michael Daves. You'll have that filled with Will Spear now. You've got one injury that happened just a couple of days ago with Chris Sanders, broken tibia. So who will replace him, and how does the offensive line look now?
I think the offensive line is the same group basically, except for Michael Daves. So they're going to be more experienced, a little bit stronger. But when you lose a Chris Sanders, a 3-year starter, that really hurts. He's playing on both sides of the ball. John Stewart's going to replace him, and we're really going to miss Chris.
As we look at the offensive line, let's spread out and look at your wideouts. Of course, you're going to have some guys that'll be coming back. Talk about the wideouts. Well,
we've got Greg Wallace back too, our leading receiver from last year. And he has really developed, gotten stronger, faster. And, of course, Zach Dice has sure hands, and so does Jack. So we feel like our receiving will be fine, and I know Hunter can get the ball out there. We just got to be able to get open, And I think they've learned a little bit from Coach Pierce about, getting open. It's not necessarily speed, but it's can you get open?
Well, and moving back to the backfield, of course, we mentioned Landon and Hunter. You'll have a senior back there, a guy that is enjoyable to watch and certainly can hit the hole pretty quick, and that's the senior number 3, Trip Puckett.
Right. Trip's a good one. Trip goes hard in practice, scout team, first team, it doesn't matter. Trip is fun to have on the team, and he's a definite competitor.
When you move over to the defensive side of the ball, you'll be headed up there by the senior linebacker, McCain Arnold. He's a good one. He doesn't mind hitting you hard either.
No, McCain is one of those throwback guys. He'll stick his face in there. We've got some younger linebackers. Jax Phillips is going to go over there and play. And then we have a freshman, Connor Sermon, who's also going to start. But outside is where our experience is and our speed, and Zach Dias and Garris go. And we feel that our linebacking, really, especially our outside, will be our strength.
How about your nose guard? You'll have Spencer Rosenbaum there.
I'm going to use Spencer. He played a lot last year, but we're also going to use Spencer some on offense at tight end. And you wouldn't think, being not really big, but he gets after it. And he's going to play some tight end, so I'm going to have to rotate him at nose with a couple of kids, Garrett Palisano, and then Jack Hebe is going to come over from offense some and play. He's the bigger kid. In the secondary, Greg Parker, who's coming back for his second year to start, and he started some on offense really his sophomore year, so really 3-year starter. And then it's going to be, if Nick Bolton is ready to go, he's had some trouble with fluid on his knee, but hopefully he'll be ready to go. If not, we've got Landon Lassiter that can go over there and play. CJ, Chris Johnson, who's really done well. He's first time he's come out for football. He's a soccer player, but he's got a little aggressive streak in him, and he's got a lot of quickness. So he's helping us too. And then we'll use some other people by committee if we have to out there at corner.
Let me mention one guy that you lost last year, the sure-footed lefty, Trey Smith. Now, who will replace him this year?
Well, we have another kid that I think is a little opposite of Mr. Smith, who was an All-State player, by the way, for 2 years in a row. And it's very difficult to replace somebody that has the savvy that he had. But Colin Douglas has a knack. He has a strong leg. I mean, it is a huge leg. He can put it in the end zone almost every single time, which is big for us, huge. He's got a little work to do because he's just a first-year player, just a sophomore, but he's already almost 6'3", about 185 pounds, and he has the leverage. So he's got the long leg. We just got to get it. And when field goal, we got to get the consistency down.
Well, Coach, as we wrap this up, of course, let's talk a little bit about Friday night's game against Charles Henderson, a 4A school, one of the largest 4A schools in the state. These guys are big, and I mean, they're coached by Mike Dean, his second year there. Of course, a lot of the folks around here know Coach Dean from coaching in and around this area. What's the expectation going into Friday night's game?
Well, they're big. You're right. Their offensive line average is about 280. Defensive front about the same. No, maybe not quite that big, about 265, something around there and there. Linebackers are great players. They're already being touted as, one of them was rated one of the inside backers rated number 5 player in the state. They're good. I mean, they've got good speed, talent. They'll get after you. Offensively, they've got 4 great receivers with a quarterback with a college-style arm, and we just hope that we can hang in there with them and get a few breaks. And last year's game was good, and we hope this year's game the same.
Well, I know it should be. It certainly sets up to be. Coach, let's talk a little bit about the fans. Of course, you'll have a couple of fan buses going over to Troy, about a 3.5 hour trip over there. Talk about how excited the fans are here at Bayside.
Well, I know that I think everybody's ready, to watch a little football. And, even tonight or tomorrow night, I believe, we get to watch Jonathan Walton, one of our own, on television against North Carolina.
North Carolina.
Yeah. And I think people are ready to watch some football, and I hope our fans are ready to watch us play. I hear a little excitement out there from them, and so I'm looking forward to it.
Well, I would be remiss if we didn't mention your coaching staff. Of course, you've got Doug Leffert in there. You've got Michael Pierce, Mark Laster. Coach Twilley, not with us this year. You got to replace him there.
No, right. Jeff Stanley, who was a student here before I got here and played ball here, I think that they had just started the football program, and I think he was here for 2 years when they played. Jeff had been working with the strength conditioning program at Arkansas State. And when Malzahn moved on, sometimes they become victims of the loss of the head coach. And he was available and wanted to come back, and so we're glad to have Jeff with us, a fine young coach. He's going to help us a lot, and of course, Doug's a great offensive coordinator. The amount of offense that we've put up these last 4 or 5 years has been staggering, and every year it's been over 400 points, and that's strong. Mark is a steady hand, for us, because he's been through everything. He knows what's going on. And then Michael now has been with me now for 5 years. So, you know, I feel good about my coaching staff. You know, I wouldn't exchange it for anybody.
Well, Coach, we're excited about the 2013 season, kicking it off in Troy to take on the Trojans of Charles Henderson. Good luck, and we will be talking again next week as we'll take on XL right here at the Plank. It'll be a lot of fun.
Well, thank you, Randy.
All right. There you go, Coach Phil Lazenby. As we get set to take on Charles Henderson, this has been the 2013 Coach Phil Lazenby Show, right here on BaysideAdmiralSports.com. I'm Randy Bergen. Good luck, and go Admirals.